The first thing we need to do on our Wally coin pouch is mark some pattern markings. So some little marks on here that will tell us certain things when we're sewing. And as you go through the instructions, they're going to make more sense, but you're going to want to mark each of these things. So there's 2 dots here, 2 dots here, so that's a total of 4 dots, 1 line across, and then each corner has a little corner bracket that you'll want to mark as well, and you're going to mark that on your fabric. Before we do that, we want to make sure we're marking that on the wrong side of our fabric. And you might be saying, what's the wrong side of my fabric? Well, every fabric has a pretty side or a right side, and then the other side is your wrong side or the inside of the fabric. So if I look at this one right here, it's a little bit easier to see because it's not just white on either side. This is my pretty side, and then this is my inside of my fabric, right? This is the side that I would want you to see. If I was making my Wally pouch out of this, I would want to see this fabric rather than this side of the fabric. And same goes for here. Since mine is white, it looks pretty similar on both sides, so I tried to label it for you guys. So wrong side, right side, or pretty side, and I put flowers and R's all around the pretty side so you could remember as we're going through and you can see which side's the right side, which side's the wrong side. When I mark things, I want to mark on the wrong side because it's going to go on the inside. I don't want to have lines all over the outside of my Wally coin pouch. I want them on the inside where you're not going to see them. Okay, let's get to the marking. You're going to use a marking pencil to mark, and I have 3 colors in the classroom. There's white, pink, and blue. Pick the color that will show up best on your fabric. So I'm going to choose blue. But you might choose pink, probably not white because we all start with white fabric, but if you have a lot going on, maybe white will show up. And you're going to want to make sure it's pretty sharp. So if it's not sharpened all the way, go ahead and sharpen it in the pencil sharpener in the classroom, so you might have to go to the other room to sharpen it. And these can be found around the classroom. There's a bin of marking pencils, and then there's also a bin by each sewing machine that will have a marking pencil for each person. So from one of those 2 places, you're going to get it. Then I'll take this template and I'm going to put it over the top. So this is the size that the fabric was originally cut to, but I had my TAs cut it and they're not perfect. And also we serged the fabric after the fact, so that has this nice edge for you. And that kind of makes your fabric shrink a little bit because it trims a little off the edge. So if your fabric is a little bit smaller than the template, that is totally fine. What you're going to do is you're just going to line up each corner, 1 corner at a time. So mine's a little bit smaller, you can see. There's about like a 1/2 inch difference. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to line up my bottom corner first. So I'll do my bottom left corner, and I'm just going to line it up with the template right here. So I'll line up my left side and my bottom. And then I'm going to use my marker to just mark, and I'm doing this on the wrong side. You can see that's the wrong side. You don't want to do it on your right side. I'm going to mark this bracket here. And I'm going to mark it really good so you can see it in the video. You just want to mark it enough that you can see it because you don't want it to show through on the other side. But I'm going to mark it really, really good so that hopefully you can see it in the video. And I'll go over that again. So you see this little bracket right here. Now I'm going to go ahead and do this on the other side, and I'll zoom in a little bit so you see that. I'll line up my right side and the bottom for this other corner. Okay, now I have this bracket, and this is showing me where I'm going to sew when I get to the corner. Now let's go for the top. So I'll do the dots first, and then I'll do the line last. So I'll do my top left, lining the top and the left side together, and I'm going to mark these dots like this. And I'll pull this off just to mark it a little better. Again, you don't need to mark yours as good because you don't want to see through to the other side. I just want you to be able to see in the video. So I have my dots on the left side marked, and now I'll do my dots on the right side. I'll line up my top and my right side. And I'll go in and do my dots. This one's kind of having a hard time going through. And this dot. And I'll make those a little more clear for you. This top one didn't really work, so I'll go back and do that again. Lining up my top and my right, and I'll make sure I go through the hole this time. Oh, lost my pencil. Okay, but you can see the general idea now, I hope. You can see that dot a little bit better. Okay, the last thing I need to do is go across the top. And for this one, it just matters that I'm lining up with the top. It doesn't matter which side I line up with. I just need to be parallel, lined up perfect with the top, and maybe I'll line up with my left side as well. You can pick a side, right or left. And then I'm going to take my pencil, and right now I just have this little piece of lead, but you would take a pencil, and you're going to go and trace that whole line. So when I lift it up, I have a line, and this is all on my wrong side, right? My right side has nothing on it. So on my wrong side, I have this line. I have 2 dots on my right side, 2 dots on my left side, and 2 corner brackets. And that's everything you need to mark on your Wally coin pouch.